Hey guys, Edward Beck here, Godspeed Investors. I'm just going to go over real quick a walkthrough on my app, the one that you guys got with your program. So I'm going to show you how it works and how to use it and how to use it in your business and why to use it and what it's for and everything in between. So the first thing when you open, you notice it comes to this offer tab. The offer tab is designed to help you actually make an offer. So the offer would be, say, based on the house. Say the house is worth $200,000, right? And the house needed $20,000 in repairs, right? So the $20,000 right there in repairs. Now it pre-populates your whole offer all the way down to the bottom to 116. So if the house that you were buying that's worth $200,000 and it needs $20,000 in repairs, then you would make an offer of $116,000. Now you can always change the things depending on where you're at. Maybe your closing cost is where you're at is less. Maybe you don't pay the buyer's agent when you're selling the property. Maybe the houses sell faster, so your holding cost is less. You know, there's a whole myriad of things. Maybe you get your money better, or you're using straight cash. But when you get it, it's at a default of 3% closing, 6% for 2 real estate agents, and then 5% for holding costs, which taxes, title, insurance, interest, utilities, cleaning while you wait for it to sell, while you're fixing it and wait for it to sell. So it makes you an offer. But a cool thing that I designed it for is you can crop it, okay? And you can crop it with, as you see here, with just turning your phone, and you can use this to present the offer to the seller. Because I always get, number one question I get asked is, what's the subtotal for? The subtotal is to tell your seller what they would get if they sold it themselves on the open market. So if they sold it on the open market, they would pay closing costs, realtor fees, and repairs, and they would sell it at 100, and they would net 162. Now, I always use this as an example when I'm using it to present to my sellers. I say, hey, what if you sell it as is? That's the big question. But it needs 20,000 in repairs. Generally, my rule of thumb is you discount the house double what the repair cost is. Okay, you got to take the repair cost out, and then it pre-populates it. Okay. You got 160,000, 3% in closing, 6% for 2 real estate agents, 0 in repairs because they're not doing anything, and they would net 145. It's always better to fix a house. I always tell them that if it was up to me, I wouldn't have to fix houses. I would just sell them as is. But if you're going to sell a house retail on the open market, you have to fix it. Okay. So if you go down there, then it shows your difference in your price. So if you go back up saying, you know what, I am going to fix it. So they're making right here 145 if they sell it as is, right? And with you, oh, that's 200. You're at 116. Now that's not too far a stretch as it was if they did fix it themselves, right? The 162 to 140, 116. So it just helps to make your offer a little bit more, you can drink it down a little better, So it's just a way to explain it. Recrop it again. Let's go to the next tab. Okay, so that's what that tab is for. This tab is designed to help as a presenter to your seller. It's helped so when you walk into an appointment, you can make an offer on the fly based on information that you have. It'll give you a good rule of thumb. It'll do the math for you, so you're not sitting there having to write something out on a pad. It'll do it all here for you on the app. So if you tab over, it instantly, there's 2 different apps. Well, there's actually 4 different apps within this application. So this one is a rent multiplier. Rent multiplier is just a simple way to multiply rent. So say your house's rent is $800 a month, right? So 800 times 70 which is a rent multiplier figure. Okay, it's not telling you value, it's just telling you rent, what you would offer. And the rental value rates of repairs are less. So if you're going to rent a house, generally it's about half of what it would be if you're going to flip a house in repairs to bring it to rental condition standards. So let's just use that as an example. Say the house rents for 800, 70 times 800 minus the 10,000 in repairs is 46. That would be your offer. Okay. Obviously the house that's worth 200,000 is not worth 800 a month. Let's say it's 170. It's 1,700 a month. So 1,700 a month with the 10,000 in repairs, your offer is 109. So obviously the highest and best use of the property is to sell it. Okay. Now you can figure in here also, if you put in 100, that'll give you the true value of the property, right? So this is a simple rule of thumb. $1,700. The repairs are 10,000. And so your highest and best use for this property is to see right here, the retail value of the property is 160,000 if it rents for $1,700. Whereas over here, the value of it is based on comparables, not on rent. Okay, so I won't go too far into that, but if you know what this is used for, appraisers use it a lot. Okay, now you tab over here to your offer segment. Your offer segment will pre-populate from the app that is before. So you have 200,000 here, okay, minus the 20,000 in repairs, right? Pre-populates to that third app, which is a mortgage calculator. So you got 116,000 offer, 20,000 in repairs, 3% of closing, and then 20% down. Okay, so the 20% down is 20% of the amount that you're borrowing. Okay, so the amount that you're buying the property for is 20% of that. And then your interest rate is whatever you figure. So your interest rate could be 6%, could be 7%. Your term could be 30 years, could be 15 years. And you can figure all that out, and it'll give you a monthly and an annual rate of return. Okay. Now in the last tab, this is kind of the one that took me forever to create. This is what do we call it in our because I built this app for me. It's like the dealer dog app. You know, I didn't title it here that, but it's the do or dog app. So say that same house that's worth $1,700, rents for $1,700, and this is purely based on renting properties. Okay. The last tab, you're not going to use it if you're going to sell the property. You know, unless you're going to sell an income used property. Like you're going to buy it, rent it out, and then sell it. Like, okay, you can make that argument. So here, if it's got $1,700 in cash in monthly income, and your total rent is this much, 40% expenses. So the expenses are the taxes, the insurance, the interest, the vacancy ratio, the repairs, all that stuff is 40%. Now you can change that. So some people, they think that it's 50%, and it also depends on what type of property you're buying. If you're buying a, mini warehouse, it's not going to be as much. If you're buying a, a low class rental property, the repairs are going to be higher, and it depends on how the renters are in your area. Okay, so there's the repairs, there's your closing cost commission. And then it gives you bingo a cap rate. Okay, so this is a good rule of thumb to get you to what kind of cap rate you're looking at with this deal. So obviously this deal still is not a good rental property. Okay, and then you can export it 1 2 3 4 5 place, right? Hit it in an email, shoot it to yourself, right? Put in here the name 1 2 3 4 5 place. Boom, just emailed it to myself. Awesome. So now you on the fly, you're at somebody's house, you're at somebody's kitchen table, you're at somebody's office, and you just figured out the numbers and you don't want to lose it. You email it to yourself, and now it's forever in your email, and you just make sure that the title of it is in the subject line. Perfect. And forever you have it there. So you guys will be able to use this as a simple rule to be able to analyze commercial properties, shopping centers, office plexes, all these different things. This is the number one thing you're going to need to know is what your expense ratio is. Okay, that's where you're going to have. I can't tell you what that number is. You have to do the research and know your market. Okay, all this is an extra tool to make it easier and simpler. So when you do get to an appointment, you can make an offer quick on the fly. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, reach out to us. I'm sure there's going to be some bugs in this new app and how many people are going to be downloading it. But let us know how you guys like it, or if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to our staff here at Godspeed Investors. Thank you guys so much. God bless and Godspeed.